Hello, this is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers, and this is the eCom Sellers Academy eBay Workshop Part 2. We've already covered Part 1, where we talked about creating your account and getting set up and creating your first listing. Now we're going to go through the process of hitting the next steps. So let me go ahead. Oh, there we go. We're good. So let me go ahead and get us started. We're going to be talking about a few different things. Sourcing, we're going to be talking about getting traffic to your listings and a couple of things that might help you along the journey, and also how to do a little bit of research. So when it comes to sourcing, the first thing that I want to encourage you to do is create a budget, because if you don't have a budget, you don't know how much money you have available to be able to actually spend or invest in your business. Any business that you start, whether it's a McDonald's franchise or it's a babysitting job, there is going to be some level of investment. It may be small, it may be big, but you do need to have a budget. I would encourage you, if this is the start of your eBay journey, that you set a budget of no less than $100 a week. That's $400 a month. And that you set yourself up to kind of think about this money as priming the pump. You're investing that $100 every single week for at least the first 6 to 8 weeks before you expect it to start turning around. Now, will it take that long? No, you'll probably start getting some sales at 2 weeks or 4 weeks or 6 weeks, but you're going to continue to invest for at least 6 to 8 weeks. And then at that point, hopefully your sales, you'll take 100% of your sales and reinvest it. That's my suggestion. If you take 100% of your sales after 8 weeks of investment, or even 12 weeks of investment, you should be at a place where you don't have to invest anymore in your business. So again, setting aside $400 or $800 or $1,200 as your starting point, that's $100 a week, and being consistent about using that money, that's going to set you up for success. Now, if you don't have a lot of time to invest in your business, you may want to cut that number in half, something like $25 or $50 every single week for at least 8 to 12 weeks. But set a number, okay? Set a number you're going to have to invest some money. In addition to that, I would encourage you to create an alternate email address to collect any receipts, because if you're going to go out and do any retail arbitrage or online arbitrage, if you're going to buy things at garage sales and swap meets, then you need to have a way to keep track of those sales or those products that you're invested in. And that way you'll be able to successfully write it off on your taxes. So make sure that you have a separate email address to collect that information. Keep all your receipts, track your mileage. Anytime you're going to the post office back and forth, or to FedEx or UPS, keep track of your mileage and keep track of any receipts, okay? And as I said before, reinvest 100% of your profits after, initially at the beginning and then ongoing. And I would encourage you to do that investment for anywhere from 3 to 9 months. Again, it depends on how much money and how much time you have to invest in your business. If you don't have a lot of money and you don't have a lot of time, you may have to reinvest 100% of your profits for the first 12 months in order for it to really give you the results of scaling long term. If you are able to work more full-time in your business, then reinvesting 100% of your profits for the first 6 months may just do you fine. And then you can start taking out a little bit of the money. I wouldn't start taking out 100% of your profits. I might suggest that you take out 25% for the first 3 months, then increase it to 50%, and then you can decide what you want to do, because again, the goal is to make the business pay for itself. So reinvest 100% of your profits for an extended period of time. If you can't do 100%, at least 90%. I would also sign up for any cashback cards or take advantage of any store coupons. That way, again, that's going to increase your profit margins and your ROI when you do stuff like that. So I would encourage you to do that. Getting started selling on eBay, in most cases, it's extremely easy, because you can get inventory from people who just want to toss stuff out or they want to donate it. So reach out to family and friends or neighbors. And if they've got stuff in their garage, say, hey, I started a new business and I would like to know if you've got anything that you're planning on donating to the Salvation Army or the DAV, or any other nonprofit or whatever. Or if you were planning on having a garage sale, like, please give me your stuff. You might also reach out to those people who actually are having yard sales and garage sales. And at the end of the garage sale, maybe the last day of the garage sale, an hour before they're about to shut down, just say, hey, is there anything that you just wanted to toss out because you don't want to bring it back into the house or back into the garage, and offer to pick it up? A lot of people will take advantage of that. Well, I won't say a lot of people. Of the people that you contact, let's say you contact 10, more than likely 4, 3 to 4 will actually take advantage of it. The others will probably tell you no, but the remaining will like, I don't want to take this back into the house. I don't want to have to store it. I don't want to have to box it back up again. So yeah, here you go. Be on the lookout of store closures. We do have a lot of stores that are going out of business. And so be on the lookout for those, and just know what is a good deal and what's not. Sometimes these store closures, they will hike up the price. And then when you go there and you see something that says 80% off, you don't know that that's not a good deal because you haven't been doing any research. So you need to make sure that you fully understand what's a good deal and what's not. 80% off of a raised price is not 80% off. 80% off of the normal price that they would normally sell that thing for, or that you can find it somewhere else for, is actually a good price. So make sure you know the difference. And and then the other thing is, like I said before, doing retail and online arbitrage is an easy way to source for your store. Getting free stuff is an easy way to source for your store. Those are all going to be low cost investments. If you're going to buy wholesale, then you're going to spend a little bit more money, and they might have some minimum order quantity. So you want to be mindful of that. All right. I've already mentioned cashbacks, rebates, coupons. So always take advantage of those when you get a chance. So here's several stores that, if you're going to do retail or online arbitrage, that you can take advantage of and find items that you can flip back on eBay. And there are other stores that are not on here. They may still be on here, but that are going out of business. Don't overlook the grocery stores. The one thing I love about the grocery stores, they're like a secret haven for inventory, is that with grocery stores, the thing about them is that a grocery store for non-food items, they only have a limited amount of real estate, very small. And so because they have to recycle that same area over and over and over again, they sometimes will offer deals that are below wholesale for sure. And they've got to clear out that space to be able to put the next seasonal item or whatever in that spot. Perfect example is the seasonal aisle at a grocery store, where they're selling right now maybe floaties and summer towels and buckets and things like that, and swim goggles. Well, that same space is going to be used for back to school supplies. So they're going to start putting that summer on clearance before you even realize, before the summer is even over, because back to school is going to start coming in. They're going to put that in that area around July, and it's going to be like, wow, okay. And then the next thing, back to school, is going to go on clearance probably before the end of August, which is crazy because they've got to start making space for Halloween. So, and also all the pumpkin spice crap that's going to be coming out, because pumpkin spice comes out around September. But the point is, they have to recycle the same real estate. So use that to your advantage. A lot of people don't source from grocery stores because they think the only thing you can buy there is food. And there's a lot of shelf-stable food that you can still sell on eBay. But my point is, there's also other things that are non-traditional that you may have the opportunity, especially in that seasonal aisle, where they have to make space in that store. They have to make real estate space. Okay. Don't overlook mom and pop stores as well. Those are also great opportunities to be able to find products to source. So all of those are great ways to, find products, great places to find products to source. And I don't want to overlook, like when you go to like a Home Depot or a Lowe's, their prices are going to be higher, but they do have a clearance aisle. So check out the clearance aisle in every single store. Look for the clearance aisle. Sometimes the clearance is mixed into the regular aisles. So that means you got to walk the aisles. And sometimes the clearance is not mixed in. But I'm going to tell you the way that I figure out whether or not it's worth selling. Definitely using my eBay app and using my Amazon seller app. Even though I'm selling on eBay, I use Amazon as my gauge. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. So, I guess we're talking about it now. So Amazon, using your Amazon seller app, and it doesn't even have to be your seller app. You don't have to be selling on Amazon. You can install your Amazon buyer app. Everybody buys stuff, or most everybody buys stuff from Amazon. So the Amazon shopping app, the buyer app, will allow you the opportunity to be able to look at what's called the sales rank. The sales rank, when you click on an item and you scroll down to where it says product information, it will tell you what is called the best seller rank, tell you what it is. And so when I'm at a store, if it has an amazing bestseller rank, the way that you know that it is amazing is that the lower the price, the faster the item is selling. The sales velocity is fast. So I'm going to give you two different examples. One, you go in and you look at an item and the sales rank on the item is 1 million. And then you look up another item. And the great thing about the buyer app is that you can actually scan with the shopping or buying app, okay? So you can go to your Apple store or you can go to your Google Play store and download the Amazon shopping or buyer app, okay? You don't have to be an Amazon seller to be able to see this. So as you scroll down to product information, which is just below the product description and all of that stuff, and the other things of people who bought this frequently bought this thing too, when you're looking on Amazon, in that area is below product information is the bestseller rank. And if I look at an item and the sales rank, it says the bestseller rank on it is 5,000. Well, 1 million means that the item is not selling as quickly. Regardless of the category, it may not be selling as quickly. The only exception to the rule would be books. Okay, books do sell at $1 million rank on Amazon, but other things will not be moving as fast if it's 1 million. I can guarantee you that, regardless of category. There are some averages based on different categories on Amazon, but I'm just going to give you a ballpark. Okay. If the sales rank is 5,000, that means that that item is selling like crazy on Amazon. And since eBay is the third most shopped online store, because Walmart just edged out above them recently in the last year. So Amazon is number one, Walmart is number two, and eBay is number three when it comes to online store presence and buyers. Amazon gets the most buyers, then Walmart, and then eBay. eBay and Walmart are very close to each other right now. Walmart's probably going to edge out above eBay, but it's okay. There's still a lot of sales that are happening on eBay. So if it's selling like crazy on Amazon, that means that it's also selling like crazy on Walmart and eBay. So if the sales rank is 5,000, I definitely want to pull up my eBay app and I want to go see the sold history for this item. I want to see if this item is on eBay, and I will look up the sold history. If the sold history shows that it's sold one yesterday or two today and two yesterday and two the day before that, then I'm in. I'm ready to go. I'm just putting this in my cart. I'm ready to rock and roll, especially if the price is good. You do want to see what it's selling for, okay? Make sure you pay attention to what it's selling for. If it is selling for $19.99 and you can buy it for $19.99, there is no profit there. Okay, there's no profit. But if it is selling for $19.99 and you can buy it for $4.99, then there is profit there. You also want to look at the dimensions and size, because dimensions and size are going to control what you're going to ship it for. So even though you might be able to get it for $4.99, if it costs you $25.99 to ship it, it's not worth it. Okay, so you do need to look at the shipping that's associated with it. Just go pay attention to that. You can also pay attention to the shipping for the item on Amazon as well. That's going to give you a gauge of what this thing might be shipping for. Then you'll be able to determine if there is a profit margin there. So hopefully you'll go back. You can go back and listen to this, and hopefully that will help you. In addition to that, you can just do a Google search on Amazon bestsellers. And let's say you are we talked about swim goggles earlier, so we're in, water activities area of products. And so if I am in Amazon bestsellers and I see a bunch of stuff, floaties and towels and I don't know, those little pull rings and the tubes, and I can go on and on and on when it comes to swim and water related stuff. If I go through that and I happen to see I'm at the store or I'm looking online and I happen to see a product that's definitely selling on Amazon, I scroll down to the product information in the shopper app or the buyer app, or just go to Amazon.com if you're on your computer. Um, and I happen to see that it is selling like hotcakes. I go over to eBay and I just filter by sold. I search for that particular item in the search bar at the top and I filter it by sold history. And I see that it's been selling, 2 a day, 5 a day, 7 a day, or, it's already sold 10 this week in the last 5 days. Then it's definitely one that I want to be able to sell. Amazon bestseller rank can give you, or Amazon bestsellers can give you some insight into things that are selling. So Amazon has a top 100 sales rank for every single one of its categories. Every category has the top 100 products that are selling. They have the best sales velocity. You could also do a search on Amazon movers and shakers. That will also give you some insight on things that are selling as well. So again, do a Google search on Amazon bestsellers, and that's going to give you the top 100 in each category. And you can do a Google search on Amazon movers and shakers. Both of those will give you some insight on what people are buying or searching for on Amazon. And if they're buying and searching for it on Amazon, they will definitely be doing the same thing on eBay. Okay. Walmart has a search that is Walmart top selling. And so you can do a search for products there to see if the product is moving like crazy there as well. It is rare that there is a product that is selling on eBay, but it's not listed on Amazon or Walmart. So that's a rarity. That doesn't mean that it's not worth listing. There could be reasons why it's only on eBay and not on Amazon or Walmart. But for the most part, if it's on Amazon and Walmart, you can sell it on eBay. Okay. You always want to pay attention to the Vero. We talked about that, I believe, in session part 1. So pay attention to the Vero list to make sure you don't get yourself in trouble. And then eBay also has watch count. Watch count is another one of those things that you can go and look and do some research on different products, especially products that are, if you're out doing product research and you're doing some sourcing, you can look up watch count, look at the product on watch count, or just type in the category, see if the product pops up. These are products that are being watched on eBay. People have flagged them as, hey, I'm just going to watch this product and see what happens to the price. A lot of the stuff that's on watch count, I won't say a lot, some of the stuff that's on watch count is things that are up for auction. You can decide whether or not you want to do auction or you want to do fixed price. I prefer fixed price, but auction has its place, especially if you're selling some collectibles or those things that are rare items that are in demand or discontinued. An example I think I gave at some point in my life was like the Toys R Us stuff that still says has a Toys R Us sticker on it, brand new, still in the box. Those are things that are rare collectibles because Toys R Us no longer exists. It's sort of in its old form. There's a new version of Toys R Us, but it's just the name in theory. It's not the real store. So my point is, again, those may be collectibles. Or, when someone passes away, an example might be Kobe Bryant. And so those are items that are memorabilia that people want to keep, or things that, his brand sold and they still love those items, of course. So that's another opportunity. So you can use watch count to look for items as well. And then last but not least, you can also do a search on Google Trends just to see how often people are searching for things. If you think you have a good product, definitely run it through the Amazon bestsellers or just go look it up on Amazon.com, again, via the app or via your computer. Also look it up on Walmart top selling, again, just to see if it's in there, if it's in their list. And look it up on watch count, see if people are watching for it on eBay. And if it fits all that criteria, and you go to sold history, you find it on eBay and look up sold history for that particular product, and it's just been selling, then you've got yourself a golden gem, and you definitely want to source that item if it's profitable for you. Again, make sure you pay attention to the profit margins. Doesn't do you any good if it's $19.99 and you can sell it for $19.99. Like, that's no good for you. You need to be able to get it for a really, really good price. So if it's selling for $19.99 and you can buy it for $4.99 or $2.99 or even $6.99, it's worth it. Always factor in your shipping. So I hope that helps you. And when it comes to making some decisions on using simple product research. So this is watch count. And again, you want to type in the specific thing of what it is, and you can then do a search and it'll show you what it is. I just typed in women's shoes, but again, you want to be more specific that women's shoes is just generic and it's a category. So that's not helpful. But if I were to say PJ Masks 6-inch figurine, then that's more specific and I can see what the results are when it comes to watch count. This is what you'll see at the bottom half of the page, what it looks like when a product is on watch count and someone is watching it. So just giving you some insight on what you'll see in watch count. Okay. The next is optimizing your listing. We're going to run through a couple of quick things that are going to help you. The first one is, the goal is for you to be found, for your product to be found. So if you've done that first part that I just kind of went through, I gave you some sourcing places and some sourcing ideas, and I also gave you some sourcing tips, simple product research tips. And your product hits all of the bells, then your product is definitely one that's in demand. And so people are organically searching for it, which makes it great for you. If they are organically searching for it, then make sure that the first 5 words of your product is keywords or includes keywords. Keywords are so important. It includes keywords. It doesn't have to be all keywords. I always pay attention to competitors' listings, which is the final bullet at the bottom. Analyze your competitors' listings for ideas and inspirations. Don't copy another listing's title or description for that matter. Look up this particular product. I would look up the product on eBay and I would look at the last 5 listings or the top 5 listings that come up for it. And then from there, I would construct my own title. I would pull up those same 5 listings and I would look at the description. And then I would construct my description based off of that, using what people what's already ranking. Now, if I type it in, PJ Masks 6-inch figurine, okay, and I hit enter on the eBay search bar, the first 5 that come up are the ones I'm going to look at. That are my exact thing. It has to be my exact thing, okay? If it's not the exact same one, then I'm probably not going to read those. I'm only going to pay attention to the ones that are the exact thing. Another way to do this is to look at the sold. Because again, if this thing is selling, you did a search and filtered on sold items. So I'm going to look at the titles for the last 5 sold. I'm going to look at the title. I'm going to look at the description if it's the exact same thing. And from there, I will use that information to construct my title. And I will use that information to construct and build my description. So you can use that technique and strategy to help you build a unique title and unique description so you don't get in trouble for copying and cloning other people's stuff. Copying and cloning in this e-commerce space is a very common thing, and you want to do everything you can to protect your business and not expose yourself to any risk or liability, because sometimes people will do some specific branding or create unique listings and you think they're identical, but they're really 100% not. But the other thing is you shouldn't be copying other people's stuff. You need to come up with your own stuff, and you can use other people's listings as inspiration to come up with yours, but they need to be the exact same thing. The other thing is you can use Terapeak and Title Builder. Those 2 are inside of eBay, and those are tools that eBay gives you to help you on your eBay listing journey, okay? In addition to that, you want to make sure that you name your image files before you upload them or attach them to your listing. Make sure you name your image files, the long tail keywords. So whatever that title is, kind of, condense it. You're not going to put that as the name of your images, but make it short and to the point, and make sure that it has some of the keywords in there, okay? Make sure your images are clean, that you cleaned out the background in most cases, or just get a feel for how others are listing this item on eBay, especially in the sold. So you can filter by sold. And when you look at the images, let's say that the majority of the images that have sold are products that are in use or in an environment where it makes sense. Then that may help you, because if the last 5 that are in an environment that's not a white background, then you can use that as inspiration as well. So pay attention to the images. Pay attention to the images for the last 5 listings so that again, you're working to optimize your listing and giving yourself the best chance to get a sale. Okay. At the end of the day, we got to get a sale. Got a list. It's got to be active in order for you to be able to potentially get a sale. If there are photos that you have that provide additional information like instructions or use, then include that as well. Again, looking at the sold is going to help you to do that. Or if you're selling a similar product and you maybe, the other similar products that are similar to yours, maybe they've got it in blue or purple or whatever, or they've got it in a larger size or something like that. And they've got an informational image, then you can create your own informational image. You can do that with Canva to help you to do that. And last, if there are fields where you can populate the backend search fields, do that. Make sure that you include things in the description and or somewhere what the search terms are or the intended use for this product or this target audience. Again, PJ Masks toys, figurines, are typically for kids. So, you're not potentially selling that to an 80-year-old person. So it's not for seniors, it's for kids. So using the words that, this is a great toy for kids or, a great toy for boys or girls or whatever, so that it knows who this is for. Okay, making it clear and making it easy to understand. If there is a need to include the brand, then include the brand if it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense to include the brand, then don't include it. So an example is PJ Mask is the name of the actual toy, but it is branded by and whatever that is. I feel like it's Nickelodeon, but I could be wrong. There's no need to put that in the title. Like that doesn't add any value. And those people who know the cartoon know whoever produces it and where to find it. So that's not helpful information. But if there are things about the brand, like if it's a Hamilton Beach or if it's a Westinghouse and you see that the majority of the listings have the brand name in them, then that means people are searching by the brand and the brand matters. So definitely do that. In the past, I've used the example of the ceramic flat iron. And so for most people, they're searching for a ceramic flat iron. They don't care about the brand name of the ceramic flat iron. They just want a ceramic flat iron. But for some people, they want a specific brand name. So if I'm going to include the brand, I might include it on the tail end. If 90% of the listings that I saw for ceramic flat irons didn't have the brand name in the title, I'm going to put the title on the tail end. Sorry, put the brand name on the tail end of the title. So use up all the space that's available to you when you create titles as well. All right, include the dimensions and the weight because that's going to affect your shipping, and fill in your item specifics. One of the things about eBay is they want you to fill in item specifics, so definitely make sure you're doing that. Okay, order fulfillment. Order fulfillment for eBay is pretty straightforward and very simplistic, but one thing you want to do is definitely check for notifications, whether you have the app or you're not using the app, either one of those. Go into your back office and you can purchase shipping directly from your back office. You can also do some comparisons by going over to Pirate Ship if you have a Pirate Ship account or some other account, and just see if you can get it cheaper. If you can't get it cheaper, then fine, buy it from your eBay back office. If you decide you're going to buy it from Pirate Ship, then add the tracking number to the listing once you fulfill the order. Before you fulfill orders, this is my one tip to you. When somebody buys something, I don't ship it immediately. I don't. There's normally a buyer's remorse period that I normally wait. So that buyer's remorse period is somewhere between, 4 to 6 hours. When we're in Q4, sometimes it's 6 to 8 or 8 to 10 hours. But I kind of let that buyer's remorse period move through first before I ship it, because there's nothing like shipping something out and then somebody saying, oh, I found a better one, or I don't want it now, You've already shipped it. It's already en route. There's nothing you can do about it. So just the suggestion, you figure out what's the sweet spot for you personally when it comes to what I refer to as the buyer's remorse period. Okay. I would also communicate with your customers, even though they get automated email notifications from eBay. Just send them a message. Hey, John, Bob, I wanted you to know that your item has been shipped. We pulled your item and we've shipped it, and here's your tracking number. I know you received this information from eBay. If you have any questions or issues, feel free to follow up. Now, I would save that text in like a template form or text form so that way it becomes a copy and paste situation. Or if you've got maybe some automation in place, it will automatically send that to your customers. And there's ways in which you can set up the automation so you can decide. But just to stay on top of it, the goal is to build your customer base and get your repeat buyers and/or make sure your ratings stay good. And these are all things that are going to help you. It does take a little bit of your time, so this might be something you outsource to a VA. Okay. And always double check your orders. Trust me, I have probably in the last 10 years shipped the wrong thing out maybe 10 times. Trust me, it can happen, especially if you're dealing with a lot. So a couple of things, shipping supplies. You can get shipping supplies from Uline. You can keep certain boxes as long as they're not heavily, like don't ship anything in like an alcohol box. Don't ship anything in a gun box. But you can keep your boxes and you can ask stores for boxes. And you can also buy boxes. You can also get free boxes from USPS. So that's one thing. You can buy poly bags online, or you can use bags from the Dollar Tree. For the longest time, I used these Ziploc bags and from the Dollar Tree. They work perfectly, especially if you're selling stuff that fits the size. If you need filler for the inside of your boxes, in other words, you've got some delicate stuff. Maybe it's a ceramic coffee mug or something like that. You can always stuff newspaper around it so that way it doesn't move. Sometimes grocery store bags will help it to stay in place, or airbags, those little pillows. You can always ask your doctor's office. Most people don't think about that, to get those from there. And then your labels again. When I first started on this journey, just using plain white printer paper, cutting it out and taping it on there worked out for me, until you get to a place where you're profitable and you feel like, okay, I'm going to go buy some label stickers so I can stop burning through my tape. So if you got to get started, you can launch it ugly until you have enough profit to where you can buy supplies. Just putting it out there. And then when you're about to ship things off to your customer, here's what I would recommend way back at the sourcing, is when you get it in, when you buy the item or you order the item or it gets shipped to you, you need to prep it then. Get it in and prep it then, okay? So as soon as you receive it, you need to be cleaning it up right then. And that is one of my listing tips, is that when you go out to source, whether it's to the thrift store, or you're going to a retail store, online store, whatever, when you get the item and you get home, first thing you need to do is you need to prep it for photos. So go ahead and take the stickers off, clean it off, wipe it down, whatever, and then put it where you're going to put it so that you can take your photos. Whether you take the photos now or take them later, you can do that. You can decide when you want to take the photos, but prep it right then so that it's ready to rock and roll, versus that whole frustration around, it takes me forever to create a listing. Well, if you're stopping and starting, yeah, it's going to take you forever to create a listing, because you got to stop, go find the item. Then when you got to clean off the item, you have to remove all the stickers. Then after you do that, then you got to go and you got to go take pictures. And then after you go take pictures, like, you're going to take forever because of the way that you're doing this. Save yourself some time and energy. Try to do what you can to streamline the process. As soon as you get stuff in, clean it up right then. Okay. And you can use Glue Gun to remove any stickers. I use disinfecting wipes sometimes, depending on the packaging, and wipe things down with disinfecting wipes. And where it makes sense, if you know it's something you're going to be shipping and you need to put it in something to keep it safe and protected, you can go ahead and poly wrap or bubble wrap it right then if you've taken the pictures. Okay. And as I said before, shipping stuff, you have so many different choices. Pirate ship is what a lot of eBay sellers have used, and also Amazon and Walmart sellers, because they get a really good price. There is a supplier. I'm trying to remember the name of the supplier right now. It's not coming to me. Bubble Fast. I think it's Bubble Fast. They also provide shipping supplies. I don't know why I don't have Bubble Fast up here, but yeah, you can get supplies from them. They sell eBay package supplies already. A starter kit is what they call it, the eBay starter kit. So when it comes to customer service, there's so many different things that people might be complaining about. I'm not going to say you're going to run into customer service issues, because for the longest time, I didn't have any. Every once in a while, you'll get a complaint. I think the world has changed significantly since I started, because of the fact that the COVID pandemic has caused people to buy stuff and then immediately ship it back, which is annoying. But um, be prepared for complaints and returns. The first thing is, consider selling things that are not frequently returned. In other words, look at the seller rating, look at the product rating. Pay attention to the product rating. The product rating is 1. I probably don't want to sell this product. Now, caveat to that is just go read the feedback. If the feedback is more about the seller took 25 days to ship the item, or I wanted the blue one and I got the pink one, then that is no reflection on the product whatsoever. But if it's saying it broke after 2 days, or it was delivered broken, or the color faded immediately, then that's probably a product I don't want to sell. So save yourself the grief so you don't have to get the complaints. Okay. Make sure the information in the listing is accurate, including when you take pictures. Take pictures of the torn stuff, broken stuff, because you can sell broken, torn stuff on eBay. You just want to be specific about it. Sometimes people buy things for supplies or for parts, laptops all the time, electronics, like they buy it for parts. So you indicate that it is broken. Somebody will get it and they understand fully that they're buying something that's broken. Okay. So make sure that you are accurate, the size, the color, the dimension, all that other stuff. Make sure that they are properly working if they are intended to be working, especially if they're used. If they're brand new, still in the packaging, always keep your receipts so that way you can take it back to that store. Okay. If it is broken, if for some reason it breaks, and you can have them ship it back to you. If you're shipping it out to the customer brand new, you can have them ship it back to you and you can return it to the store and get your money back. Okay. When creating the listing, again, always take multiple pictures from all sides, make sure it's bright. These are all things that are going to help you to minimize your complaints and your number of returns. That is packaged carefully. Yeah. And that when possible, try not to do any offline communication with the customer, because sometimes they'll ask you to ship it to an alternate address. No, and under those cases, those circumstances, sorry, I would just cancel the order and tell them that they need to place the order and put the real address, because I'm not shipping it to an alternative address. Okay, that's just me. You can decide how you want to handle it. I don't have time for people to be scamming me, so that is one of the biggest scam things. Oh, I wanted to go to my mother-in-law. Then put your mother-in-law's address as the shipping address. Okay. Don't put yours and then you want to package it and whatever. Okay. The other thing is send thank you notes. Like, you can include little thank you notes or messages inside of the packaging. Hey, we hope this product finds you well. If you have any issues with it, please contact us at this store, blah, blah, blah. You can do a QR code, which is great. And so you can just, order some postcards or print out something with a little thank you note and just stick it in when you ship it in to the customer. The other thing is, when you're handling returns, like I said, never communicate outside the eBay platform. Keep record of your return notifications so that way, and you can respond to eBay very quickly whenever possible. And when you keep record of that, you want to look for your item coming back within the time frame that eBay allows you. When they don't get it, you need to request your reimbursement ASAP. Okay. Protect your seller accounts by contacting the buyer to find out the reason for the return. Sometimes they're just returning it because they ultimately discovered it's the wrong size, and that's fine. That's not a bad reflection on you. Sometimes, they buy something for little Billy, and at the time they thought Billy wore a size 6, and now Billy's wearing a size 8. That's okay. It happens. We do the same thing. We're all humans. And never, ever, never, never take any of this personally. If an item has been returned back to you, make sure you inspect it. I have the best story ever, and it's one of my own family members. So my brother was selling on eBay for the first time when I first started back in 2014, and he sold a Roomba. He was drop shipping at that point, but he sold a Roomba to somebody. They bought it in Australia. They said that it didn't work, and so they returned the Roomba, and he gave them their money back. Back then, Roombas cost a lot, just so you know. He didn't open the box. He just got the box in and he approved the refund. What ended up happening when he decided to open it some months later, It was a box full of cans. Cans of corn. Cans of corn. So don't do that. Inspect your returns, okay? Make sure it was your thing that you sent, especially if you know how you sent it and you took really good pictures. This is what's going to save you. You can say to eBay, here is what I sent, and my pictures are all accurate because this is what I shipped. This is what I got back. Like, I shipped out a size 16 pair of jeans, and they were brand new, dark blue. And I got back a faded, torn pair of size 12 jeans. I did not ship size 12. I want my money back. So just a heads up, inspect it. And then be polite whenever people are returning stuff. Again, never take any of this stuff personally. Don't get into it with the customer. Stick to the facts. And, if when it comes to requesting feedback, like after you have shipped something off to a customer, it's okay to request feedback from them, for sure. But just don't engage in negative interaction. Some people want to bait you. Some people want to get ignorant and indigent, and they just want to whatever. And also be mindful of, look, porch pirates are active. Theft is up in the US, unfortunately. And so, when an item is delivered, this is where I was saying before, it's okay to send your customer messages so that way, when an item is delivered, when it shows up, that the customer is immediately notified, hey, it's on your porch, hey, it's this, hey, it's that. That way, it gives them an opportunity, if they've got a ring or whatever, that they can see that it's there, and you're staying on top of it, so that if the customer's saying, I never got it, say, I sent this communication. When I got notification from USPS or UPS, I emailed you immediately. The last thing I will say, that works probably 50% of the time. The other thing is, sometimes, just sometimes, the neighbors will pick up the item and take it back to their friend or their neighbor later. And that may be the case. So I always ask my customers to give it 24 hours. The other thing is, sometimes, just sometimes, the USPS will put stuff onto the truck that they're going to be delivering that day. Same thing with FedEx and UPS. And they'll put stuff on the truck that says it's being delivered today. And then for whatever reason, something happens, maybe the truck breaks down, and so that entire delivery doesn't go to get to the porches. And so someone will say, well, it says it's delivered, but I don't have it. And I always ask my customer to wait 24 hours, just in case it got put on the truck in the morning and something happened with the delivery truck, or it got put on the truck in the morning and it had to go back to the warehouse and it's coming back out. So just ask your customer to wait 24 hours. And if they still don't see it, then you're ready to begin the process of, going through the return process. But send them an email. When you get the notification, send them an email. You can use a VA to do that. So now we're going to talk about your back office. As an eBay seller, you have access to a bunch of stuff in your back office. You can, your notifications, this is what it looks like when you got a notification for a sale. And you can go directly to your back office when you go to selling or sell. It will take you to your seller hub. So you can see selling in the drop down under my eBay, or you can see sell over there. Either one of those will take you to your seller's hub. All right. And then the little cart shows you the notification. So this is your back office. When you go to your seller hub, you can see here that you've got an overview tab, an orders, a listing, a marketing, store, performance, payments, research, and reports. Those are all the tabs that you have available to you. And all of those tabs are going to help you to be able to run your store more effectively. Kind of blanked out, I think I did, for the most part, some of the stuff, so that way, can't see anything, but you can get some general information on this first page, which is the overview page. Now we can drill down a little bit. Under orders, this is where you can see, you can click on all orders, or waiting for payment, or waiting for shipment. Waiting for shipment is one of those things that's important. So make sure you stay on top of that. Cancellations and returns, go scan that from time to time to see if there's anything there, requests and disputes. You always want to respond to your disputes, so don't get yourself in trouble there. And you can order shipping labels. The next one is listing. So create a brand new listing. You can go and look at your active listings, unsold drafts, ended listings, or scheduled listings. You can go look at all of that under listings. Those are the options that you're going to see in your drop down. The next one is, you got marketing in your store. Again, you can go to those too. If you're planning on buying marketing or promoting things, you can go to that section. If you want to update your store settings or your store setup, you can go to store. The next one is performance. Performance matters, and you want to pay attention to that where you are as a seller, what's your seller level and your sales, your traffic. Go look at your metrics. Look, here's the deal. eBay is giving you this information for a reason. They don't put stuff out here that's not beneficial. I can guarantee you that more than 60% of sellers don't look at all of the options. I want to encourage you as you begin to sell on eBay to invest some time in going through all of the options. I want to encourage you to do that so that you can better understand the platform and you can use the tools to help you to become a better seller. That's the goal, is to become a better seller. So service matrix, traffic, all of that stuff is helpful information. Traffic is going to tell you whether or not you're coming up organically in the search as well. It's going to help you to see what's happening with some of your listings. So pay attention to that stuff. Payouts, you've got your reports, your transactions, all of that stuff. That is going to help you, especially when it comes to doing your account reconciliation and things like that. Research, as I mentioned before, you've got Terapeak for product research and also for sourcing insights. And they also have an entire resource section inside of eBay. I don't know if you noticed that, but it's there for you. And then you have reports. The great thing about all the reports is you can customize them to what you need. So you can, the other thing is that you do have the ability to upload stuff to eBay, upload files. So go through and look at the reports section, change some of the filter settings so that you can download stuff and use that to help you become more effective in selling on eBay. Okay. The next is, I do want to encourage you to establish some goals as a seller on eBay. This comes from our eBay 90-day course, and we talk about, setting some goals for yourself. So if you're looking to sell or reach $2,000 in profit in 90 days, in other words, your first 3 months on eBay, this is what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to get roughly $166 in profit each week, which is roughly $24 in profit each day. Now, if you're looking to sell $2,000 per month, then you have to have $500 in sales profit per week and $72 in profit each day. So that's going to potentially help you make better decisions when it comes to sourcing. I will tell you the things that you sell, the higher the price of those items, the lower or the slower they sell. The lower the price your items are, the faster they sell. So you've got to find that sweet spot. Maybe you're going to only sell things that are $50 and below or $40 and below. And so you got to source it right in order to do that. The other thing is the faster that it sells because of the lower price, you're going to also have potential for increased returns. So you want to be prepared to balance that out. Your things that are higher in price, your $300, $400, $500 stuff, even though the margins might be high, the return rate, it might be lower on those or slower on those. Just depends on what it is. So a lot of the things that cost more, the return rates are a little bit lower, or things that are big, the return rates are a little bit are down because of the fact that people don't want to return big things. So also keep that in mind. That may be one of your sourcing and selling strategies that you're mindful of, but you need to know what your numbers are that you're going to establish. So establish some goals for your first 90 days. And again, I would base those goals out off of how much time you have to invest in your eBay store. If you have a lot of time to invest in your eBay store, that works. But if you don't have a lot of time, you're only going to be able to work true part-time, then you might set some lower numbers. Your goal at the end of the day is that if you're listing 10 items a day, that you get to a place where you're having 10 sales per day. When you get to that sweet spot, then your store is really making some progress. But it's going to take a little bit of time to build up to that, where you list 10 items a day and you sell 10 items a day. Using those reports is going to help you to be able to find that. So again, tracking your numbers, looking at it from this standpoint, you know, sold items per day. If I'm selling 5 items a day, in order to get to my $2,000 a month, I got to make sure that every item that I sell per day has a profit of $4.44. So I'm selling 5 items per day and the profit on it is $4.44. I think most all of us can do that. But the key is to find stuff that's, you know, people want. If I'm selling 75 items a day, then I only really have to have a profit of 30 cents. So again, that may change your strategy on how you decide to list things on eBay. Maybe you're going to sell things where they have a low sales profit, but they're really in demand, so they're hot, so you're selling a lot of it. You also have to be prepared to get that shipped to the customer, okay? So if you're gonna do that, make sure you're doing everything to get it shipped to them. If you can handle 75 shipments a day, okay, fine, but 75 shipments a day, when I'm only gonna make $2,000 for the month and I'm making a $30 profit, is not worth it for me. That's a lot of shipment time. Like if I'm doing 75 shipments a day, you might as well just say 5 minutes a shipment just to get you a good average. That's the entire day, every day, just to make $2,000 for the month. Not excited about that, okay? So you gotta be strategic about what you wanna do. Make sure your margins work for you, okay? Same thing. So the opposite of that is the $6,000 per month. If I'm trying to make $6,000 in 90 days, not per month. So if I'm trying to make $6,000 in 90 days, again, 75 sales per day, 75 shipments per day, I only need an 89-cent profit in order to hit 6,000 in 90 days. 6,000 in 90 days is only $2,000 a month. That's not a lot of money. So again, be mindful of what your goal is. Now, if I'm going to drop this down to per month instead of per 90 days, and 90 days is a quarter. So we're about to start, I mean, like we're June, so we're going to go into July. Then you can set a goal for the quarter and make that be your target. So this example is a 30-day stretch. If I have 75 sales per day and I'm trying to make $6,000 per month, I only need to have a profit of $2.67 per day. Again, depending on what it is that you sell, going out there and doing that research, finding items that are selling like hotcakes, you can drive that traffic. You can also do promotions. There's all kinds of strategies you can use. So if I'm shooting for $6,000 a month, then I got to have items that have a $40 profit. So you need to know what your profit margin is, minus your expenses, minus shipping, all that other stuff. That's true profit for you. Okay. And then if I'm shooting for $2,000 a month or $4,000 a month, you know, selling 5 items a day, the $13.33 is the profit I need at 5 items per day. At 5 items a day, or we can go up to 15 items per day. I need to make a profit of $4.44. So again, looking at the drastic change in the number as you go along, just trying to figure out, how do I get to $2,000 a month in profit and $6,000 a month in profit? This will give you some insight and help you to figure that out. So I hope this is helpful. I hope you use it to help you on your eBay journey. If you have any questions, you can type them in the comments section. I'd be happy to answer those. And with that, I hope you have an amazingly blessed, extremely focused, and highly profitable day. Anytime you have any questions, you can definitely schedule a free 20-minute coaching session by going to ecomsellers.com, clicking on free resources, and scrolling down to schedule your free 20-minute coaching session whenever your schedule permits. And with that, we're going to say goodbye for now. Bye, y'all.